that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we conduct interviews with the famous and not so famous and the infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Variawa. We're broadcasting live from the Durban Summer Souk on this beautiful Saturday evening in a full and very packed emporium that you can find anything you want, from a needle to a haystack. It's all happening here. Lots and lots of people. But tonight, we're focusing on you at home. If for any reason you couldn't come here, you got no transport, you can't make it, you're disabled, no one can bring you here. Tonight, myself and Dr. Jeewa is going to entertain you. So you're going to listen to us on this famous and most popular program called Nightline. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Anwar Jeewa. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Great to be back again, live in front of thousands and thousands of people. But just to let the listeners know, don't worry, we didn't forget. Nightline, although was late, but better late than never. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're at the live broadcast at the Souk, you got so many other things that happened before that and it's planned before that. But we'd never let you down. And I think I gave you the impression when you heard my voice on Dawah Dynamics, you knew that we were going to come out and talk to you soon.
So it seemed that when you went on another show, I thought you were ditching me.
I'll never ditch you, my brother. How can I ditch you?
Alhamdulillah.
I just went to challenge some of these dire oaks that do wonderful work, but I don't think they're finishing the work to extent that we need it to be done. I mean, reverts, I think they revert and they just dropped onto the side. The Quranic ayah about women abuse and the miswak is not explained properly. And there's so many other questions. So I told Mr. Basha that he needs to come out to our program, the program mine and yours, in which we can ask him some challenging questions about exactly what's happening, how much of work they're doing, how successful they are, and how many of the reverts remain reverts. I mean, throughout the world, we get reverts all the time. And why do people revert? A number of reasons. 9/11 got hundreds of thousands of people that reverted. The Palestinian issue from October 7th that you and I talk about every day has got thousands of people that actually reverted. In the UK, in Germany, in Hong Kong, in Holland, all over the world, people are reverting. Whilst that's a fantastic thing and they carry on, and if they got ustads and people that are guiding them and they need to be guided, is amazing. Then you get those that revert when they marry a Muslim man and they believe they have to revert. And they revert, they change the religion, they ditch their family, which is not necessarily what needs to be done. And after 6 or 7 months, when the relationship turns sour, there's this young lady left on one side, nobody is guiding her, nobody's teaching her anymore, and she goes back to her own religion. So that's what we must challenge them. But that's a conversation for another day.
But then I just want to add on to be contradict what you're saying. You mentioned that a lot of them tend to revert because obviously maybe coming into the fold Islam due to marriage and things like that. But have you noticed something very significant? A lot of reverts, when they share their story of the reversion, they speak most importantly how they discovered the beauty of Islam. And also, when you hear them mention, and this is sad, it's an indictment of us in general, they say that it's better I discovered or came to know about Islam before I met a Muslim.
I agree with you 100%. Most of us are just bad examples of Muslims, how we should behave to reverts. And I agree with you. And let me tell you something else, that reverts become absolutely fantastic Muslims.
Oh, yeah.
In their practice, in their
them.
belief, in their taqwa, in their understanding of the religion. They go and read. How many, you and I that are born Muslim, how many of us would go out of our way to read, go into literature, find books, read about Rabi al-Basri, read about Jalaluddin Rubi? We don't, because we take for granted that we are born Muslim, and we believe. And what we do, we depend on the scholars from the minbar to teach us our religion.
And then also at the same time, we take it one step further. We have the sense of entitlement. Because we're born Muslim, so we can carry on how we want to carry on. Because we are born Muslim, we guaranteed, But we don't realize that our action, our words, and how we interact and how we relate to people plays a most important role. Now, if you see And they speak about Islam being the fastest growing religion in the world.
Yes.
Imagine how fast or how much more will revert to Islam if we as Muslims behave the way we're supposed to behave and interact the way we're supposed to interact. And more people will come into the fold of Islam and say, look at these Muslims.
From the examples that we set. But right now, we're setting horrendous examples. And the only people that's allowing people to look at us and see what beautiful people we are the Palestinians. Their resilience, they believe in Almighty Allah, despite the fact they got shattered and brought down to the ground and they have no masjid, they'll still make their salah wherever they are. So this is the problem that we have. And you're 100% correct. We entitled Muslims. We don't practice properly. We think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to grant us all the joys of paradise because our name is Muhammad Farooq Ahmad and whatever it is. It's not going to work that way. Janatul Firdaus is not easy. It's something you have to work towards. And reverts understand that. And they know when they are coming to the fold, they're dying for more information. They bleed, their heads are bleeding to learn more about the religion and not only what they see. And that's the problem.
And if you notice recently on social media, some of the posts that have come up, and one specific one of a lady who was a revert Muslim.
I've seen that when I try to find it. Do you have it with you?
I have it, yes.
Yes. If we can, I'd love to play that. Is that the one where she says there's 3 reasons why she nearly leave Islam?
Yeah.
And that is what we must play, because people must listen to this. They must understand that we are not one of the best examples of our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We don't exhume the same personality and the character and the manner and the way in which he led his life. And that's why I heard something today that's shocking, and I don't want to mention names, about sexual abuse in one of the famous masjids in Durban that's going on, and a madrasa and children going home. I'm going to find out more about that. So I'm not going to talk about it now. I want to do more investigation. I've got the response from Majlis, but we need the trustees of that particular mosque to contact us, because we're not going to contact them, because I want to find out what's happening. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And this abuse of madrasa children goes back a long time.
Yeah, it's going on for years.
It's not new.
Not new.
Okay? And I don't support Majlis all the time, but it's the time has come for you and I, who are investigative journalists. We cannot know about something, understand what's happening, know the abuse that's going on for children at madrasas, and keep quiet, because you and I have to answer for that, and that's not acceptable.
But I mean, to get people, learned scholars and people, to behave in such manner, don't they think that Allah Ta'ala knows, Allah Ta'ala is watching? You can hide it as much as you want. You will get exposed, irrespective of whatever it is. But again, I still find it difficult to accept that posting it via social media, those so-called accusations and allegations, don't you think that that is a very sensitive issue, needs to be addressed first within closed doors?
Okay, so why would you discuss abuse of children in a particular madrasa behind closed doors?
Yeah, but you see, you need to address it. But if I read correctly, in that same message, apparently they have attempted to address it behind closed doors. They have confronted the people with the so-called accusations and allegations. So it's not they didn't. And nothing was done. You see, this is another bad habit we have. We do not realize that we're going to be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we tend to do is we like to sweep things under the carpet.
But we do that all the time, don't we?
And it doesn't go away.
And we try to substantiate it by religious quotations.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't go away. And if that is happening, there's parents that send your kids to a certain madrasa who trust whoever is in charge of, and we are making it very clear, we're not mentioning any names or giving any indication of what we're talking about. But it's important that this be investigated and not swept under the carpet. You can't do that. It needs to come to an end. And abuse of children, 10 years ago, you and I know. Okay, we were 10 years ago, one day threatened to not mention anything and put it under the carpet. We were young then, and we did it. We know more young. Now we're only answerable to one. And that's Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our job to expose it.
And if you notice, because it was kept quiet, it was swept under the carpet, it got worse.
Exactly.
The problem got worse. And that is something that I think that we have a tendency to rally around all the issues around the problem and finger pointing and accusations and allegations and bringing this person. Instead of saying, okay, let's sit down and address, and what is the solution? That's important because we're living in dangerous times. I mean, you and I are going to be doing a very intensive program soon on the LGBTQ plus, right?
We're going
And
to do a very
comprehensive.
intensive program soon on the Amanat saga. We cannot leave these things to lie in our community. It's our responsibility. There's thousands of very poor people that lost their money. And I know that group. When the late A. Timor was around, it was run like a clockwork, beautifully run, showed the profits distributed. We need to do that. And the other thing, trustees that are listening to us of a particular masjid who knows of abuse of children at madrasas, you're going to stand responsible. I'm sorry, you are. Because that's what you're here for.
And speaking about that financial institution, I believe they put a post. They're looking for a new CEO. Are you interested?
Not interested at all. Not
They
at
advertise
all.
for a new
Am
CEO.
I interested in being the CEO of that group? Not a chance.
But generally, anything of that nature holds big responsibilities, and you have to have the character, the akhlaq and the character.
You
to
you
be
asked
able
the
to-
question of, have we lost the fear for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? For you to behave in a manner that you did, for you to usurp poor people's money and feel that you've done nothing wrong is the first problem. Is the first problem. And it has to be and it must be addressed. Now, anyone listening to tonight that's aware of the problems happening at madrasas, aware of the children abuse, Amanat, I've got a whole lot of information, but it needs to be investigated. It needs to make sure it's correct.
Factual.
You can't mention names. It's got to be factual and make sure what you talk about is 100% correct before we can broadcast it over radio. And we'll give both sides the opportunity to voice their opinion and give us their sides of it.
It's true.
Now, you're talking about weddings.
That's your rant.
Now, no, my rant is not about weddings. My concern is about the amount of divorces we have, the amount of free reigning talaqs that shakes the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm just attributing now. I don't want people to tell me that they've got the right to do. You have got the right to do whatever you want to do with your money. It's your money, you're entitled to. You want to have a lavish wedding, you're entitled to do it. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you, go ahead and do it. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, just be careful that we stick to the principles that's required by Sharia. Because I think, in my opinion, the increase in divorce, the increase in talaq, the abuse of women, the mistreatment of women, the abuse of children at whatever, I don't want to mention those names too, is an indication that we're losing the plot as Muslims. The infighting between alims, the infighting between ulama. I've heard a voice note today again about calling people TJs and calling them kafir and they're not supposed to be around. There's only one Allah. Let him be the judge. Let him be the judge.
When you speak about TJ, I'm not sure. Those days, Johannesburg number plate used to be TJs. I don't know if you remember.
Number used to be TJ, but and I'm not referring.
Transvaal, Johannesburg.
I'm also not referring to Tabligh Jamaat because that's not what I'm referring to. Okay, I'm referring to Maulana Tariq Jamil.
Okay.
And I've heard something else again on the radio today, and I'm not going to mention it because I'm tired. I don't think we must discuss laundry on social media.
Yeah, that's very true. But coming to the concept of weddings, because weddings have not been addressed.
Zach,
you know what I mean?
we can't accept phone call. They told me for our program we can.
Yeah,
phone
we can.
calls.
We can. I've spoken to Spoo. We can on via WhatsApp. WhatsApp calls will be connected. And I think we're connected
and
live
can we
on
see
Facebook.
Messages?
We're connected live
Oh
on
yeah,
Facebook.
we're also live on Facebook. www.olansar.org.za. We're also live on Facebook. I can see Dr. Jeewa. That's fine. You don't have to see me. Just see him. He's a good-looking one, and I'm the far more good-looking one than he is. But that's okay. You can just look at him. All right. So that's what we're talking about. Go.
It reminds me of the good and bad and the ugly. There's three of us here: good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
That's what it
Ugly,
reminds. Huh?
bad, and the good.
No, ugly can be beautiful also. It
Ugly
depends.
it's in the eyes of the beholder.
Eyes of the beholder. Coming back to the weddings, because weddings have not been addressed and the lavishness and the extravagance of weddings have not been addressed, I don't know if you noticed that it's getting bigger and more expensive and worse. I don't know if you heard now the new trend is called destination weddings. So if you ever get married again, There's something known as the
Never
destination.
get married again.
Yeah.
What you think I'm mad?
Okay. No, in your other life, maybe. But I'm just saying, there's something known
You know, I
as
told my
destination.
wife the other
Yeah.
day.
She's listening.
I sat her.
Just
I
let her
don't know.
know.
No, she's
Let
not
her
listening.
listen.
She's not listening. So I
I'll
sat her
message her.
down and I told her, Lovey, if anything happens to you,
We still use the word lovey.
yeah. Oh,
Lovey
yes,
dovey
lovey,
or just
darling,
lovey?
sweetheart, everything.
Okay,
I call her.
alhamdulillah.
I call her that so she gets happy.
You don't say lovey dovey.
No,
Oh, it is
I
lovey.
told her that
Okay.
if anything has to happen to her,
Oh.
I had a beautiful 40 years of marriage, but I will never ever
Able
get
to.
married again.
I thought you won't be able to live.
No, I'll be able to live. I just won't get married again.
Okay. It was so bad.
No, it was beautiful
Okay.
40 years.
Yeah. You know, you're not going to
Marriage is trying, dude.
Yeah.
It's testing.
No, but I must take your hat off. You and your wife know each other from the time you were teenagers.
Yeah, we've been
And
to the same school.
That's been
So a long
phenomenal.
time. So I think I need to,
And I'd like
pat
to ask
myself
this
on my back,
question.
actually.
Yeah. What age you got married?
No, I was 24 when I got married. What's wrong with you?
24.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not true.
Huh?
He's
Well, how old are you?
Asif is saying something.
How old
wrong.
are you, Asif? So you want me to find someone for you to marry?
You might go beyond the sale by date.
Well,
age,
after 32, you're going to have a problem.
yeah.
So you got about 4 years left.
So you don't want to know about the destination marriage.
No, okay, so yeah, destination weddings.
I mean, destination weddings.
Yeah, tell me about this.
So destination weddings is where people are going to a holiday resort in another country.
Right.
Specifically, these ones that have beaches and beautiful hotels, and I'm just not going to use the name because I don't want to link it to any particular family, but taking place. But something similar to that, like if you go and book a place in Mauritius on the beach, you invite all your family members.
My
and
next
the
wedding.
And the wedding takes place.
Yeah.
That's called destination marriage.
Okay.
Now, I don't know who pays for the flights.
But hold on.
I know the accommodation.
If the guy can afford it,
Mhm.
and if he can pay for the flights for his family members to fly to Mauritius, I hope I was one of the family members. I don't see a problem with that. I think it just becomes a problem when you transgress Sharia rulings. That's what I'm saying.
But I have a problem. The problem I have is wastage, extravagance. Like, look at this one small.
But
comment.
hold on, what's wastage to you may not be wastage to me because I got so much.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. There's so many that suffering that can benefit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a couple where there was a Palestinian couple or a Syrian couple. When they got married, what do you think they did? They took the money and they fed the poor for their wedding. They fed the underprivileged and poor. Let's be honest. Those that are going to weddings.
That's a magnificent and a very noble deed indeed, compared to spending lavish now. And let me tell you, after 6 months, nobody remembers what you did.
Over 6 months, I think couple days.
Okay, couple days after you come back, they enjoyed the trip, they enjoyed the food, and had no salt, but that's okay. The meat must have been a bit stale, but that's okay. But that's done now, it's over. And nobody remembers it. So if you've got that ability to be able to do a deed like what you that's amazing. Right? But how are you going to show off? Because that's what weddings are all about, right?
Yeah, but show off for what?
Show off your wealth, show off your daughter-in-law, show off your new son-in-law, show off how much people you can invite, because that's what it's all about.
Okay, listen to this. When you want to impress those that will have forgotten your wedding 30 minutes after the event, posh halls, hired cars, suits, food, extravagance, even a helicopter ride for photos and videos, which no one looks at after the event. Not forgetting only 2 per card, no children allowed. If you compare the olden days is take community halls, where you met genuine guests who came to share your happy occasion.
And we just handed out chocolates.
Without any form of jealousy or judgment. And kids were allowed, and it was a family affair. I mean, this comment here says that nowadays marriage is like saving years of money to make 600 people happy who never wanted to see you happy.
And what about all the discord that happens when you leave out someone in the family, or you didn't invite my
drama.
son? And then the drama starts, right?
Drama.
Huh?
I get happy and I get left out.
I don't like to attend
Really?
weddings. So if you don't invite me, I'm very, very happy. If you just joined us, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you're in Durban, you're on 90.4. Keep your dial on 90.4. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, you're on 105.6. I don't know if you can receive messages here, but if you can go onto our Facebook page, you're more than welcome to send us some messages. Tell us that you're listening to us at home. We are concerned about you at home. The Souk at Durban Summer Souk is buzzing. It's going to buzz today. It's going to buzz tomorrow. Apparently, the marketing guy says that on social media, they had over 500,000 responses. How many days are we at the Souk?
5 days.
Okay, so if Spoo's listening to us right now at the Durban studio, if he's got any messages, who can he send it to? Yeah,
Okay,
you
while
can send it to Jeewa.
while we're organizing that, let's listen to a quick nasheed.
ongenzela kona alhamdulillah wa shukru lillah ngiyabonga ngomusa nothando ngonyama Yesu unobubele kimi withemba lami alhamdulillah Ongumalusi uzumkhanyisele indlela ya. You held my hand, you told me so, to spread my wings, don't give up hope in the darkness. When I'm in the darkness, you let me shine. Everywhere I go, you light the way for me. Allah, Ongo Allah, Dali Wetullah, Anta Rahman, Anta Rahim. Ongo Allah, Dali Wetullah, Impilo Yan, Ninike Nabu. He's alive, there's no God but He. Hasbunallah, wa ni'mal wakeel. He's alive, there's no God but He. Hasbunallah, wa ni'mal wakeel. Ngobuthando lakho nomusa wakho uhamba nami imihla nezolo, kuwe ithemba lami ubusuku nemini. Alhamdulillah. How far I've come, how you held my hand, for your love is so true. Lord of Alhamdulillah, is due to Allah, Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah. Ongo Allah, Dali Wetullah, Anta Rahman, Anta Rahim. Ongo Allah, Dali Wetullah, Impilo Yan, Ninika. There's no God but He. Hasbunallah, wa ni'mal wakeel. He's Allah, there's no God but He. Hasbunallah, wa ni'mal wakeel. Bongo Allah, Ar-Rahman, Anta Rahim. Bongo Allah, Dali Wetullah, Impilo Yan, Ninike Nabu. He's Allah, there's no God but He. Hasbunallah, wa ni'mal wakeel. He's Allah, there's no God but He. Hasbunallah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. This world gave me nothing but some false hope. Lost soul chasing that dark rooms. Them finer things really don't mean nothing. If I forget the end, that poverty gon' lay between my very two eyes. And heaven's all I wanna know. So I'ma make sure I get the best of both lives. How many times I've gone astray? And if I crawl, he runs to me. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Oh Allah, please protect me from this world and protect me from the fire. Rabbi, keep me on your guided path. See, we complain about a cold life. When the Lord made us warm, we just lost sight. Trying to fill an empty hole in these dark nights. Please, Lord, save me. I find myself always feeling hope and fear. But what's it really mean if you ain't sincere? These lessons nothing less than just another test to keep us on the deep. How many times I've gone astray? And if I crawl, he runs to me. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.
Welcome back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Muhammad Variawa, the Durban Summer Souk. It is very, very, very busy. And if you're at home, this is why we're talking to you, because we're broadcasting to you at home. 90.4 if you're in Durban and 105.6 if you're in Pietermaritzburg. Welcome. We'd love to be into your homes this evening, and we're going to broadcast to you until about 11:30 and maybe 11:45, inshallah. We started the conversation with the abuse of children at certain madrasas, and we're going to investigate that, and we're going to talk about amanat as well. We're still investigating that, and we're talking about lavish weddings and how much money is spent in weddings, which is rather with the world in the poverty state that is, the two of you could just take all that money that your family gives you and donate it for charity. Tell us, Summer Souk out of the studio. We've got Spoons Kizzy that's at our studios in Durban. So you're more than welcome to WhatsApp us on 060-904-1056, and he will send it through to us. If you're on Facebook, www.alansar.org.za. We got a message from Hassan Khan who says, Jazakallah, nice topic on reference to weddings.
In fact, I'm reading a post, and this is quoted by Mufti Meng. Extravagance in our weddings where money borrow money and live debt for a long time to come. Food is wasted. The rich and famous are invited.
True.
People are inappropriately dressed. People try to outdo one another's function. Are all actions that can significantly reduce the blessings in our marriage. So it's important for us to bear in mind the simplicity of such a function, the invitation of the poor and needy, the fulfillment of whatever pleases Allah, and abstaining from whatever displeases Him. Then we see the blessings in our marriage by the will of Allah. Extravagance and wastefulness in any sphere.
Millions and millions of rands on weddings and extravagant and push the wealthy, and you ignore the poor, and you invite one person from this family. If you invite someone else, you're causing disruptions in family relationships. The brothers and sisters argue and fight. It is the blessings that is going to go away very, very quickly. And marriages today is a challenge in itself. When you're coming from two different homes, you're coming from different cultural backgrounds, you're coming from different upbringings. You cannot afford to add any more pressure. As you said, 1 week after that, everything's totally forgotten. Right?
And what's becoming scary, the divorce rate being so high.
I don't know what we're going to do about that. And the divorce rate
Divorce
is
rate high in the early stages of the marriage. That's concern.
but you know that there's people getting divorced after the age of 55.
Yeah, there is.
And I know off my head, I'll give
that
you
are
about
married
10.
for many, many years.
That's been married for many, many years. How does that happen? How do you be married for instance, me? Okay. I'm now 62. I'm married for 40 years. I would think that even if nothing's working in my marriage, I must stay with it, right? My kids are older, they travel outside, they're having their own kids. Why would you want to disrupt a relationship of 40 years?
In fact, there's some wonderful advice to say here that it's obligatory for whoever is invited to the invitation has disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. But however, responding to such an invitation is only obligatory if certain conditions is met.
I was going to answer that for you.
Yeah.
I was going to challenge you on that, but now you've clarified it.
So these conditions are a guide that guide us on what to avoid in wedding celebrations when we are responsible for arranging them. The conditions are that the host not have invited the rich to the exclusion of the poor,
Which happens.
which is that
Only the rich in the family will be invited.
that the invitation be for the first day of the wedding feast, and if the host celebrates for 3 days, it's not obligatory to receive invited on the second day and offensive to do so on the third day. That the motive for attending not be the fear of the host for these being help having attended, and not to like show them now I want to be there and whatever it is. Don't do it for show. Yeah. That no one, because of their vileness, for example, such as people devoid of morals and character, then there will be nothing blameworthy, such as flutes, wine, silk covering, sitting mats, pictures of animate of life on the ceilings, wall, pillows, and all the decor that goes in. I think that is something that we also must be very careful, because the decor that we use, I mean, doesn't a lot of things goes to waste?
And do you know that people borrow money to be able to do these lavish weddings? And after everything is done, they cannot repay the bank or cannot repay the loans they take. Then they're battling with interest. It's horrendous. I wonder if there's anybody listening to us. 06090411056. You're in the company of Brother Muhammad Variawa and Dr. Anwar Jeewa. We're broadcasting to you live from the Durban Summer Souk, which is an amazing event to be at. If you haven't been here yet, you've got a few days left. I think it goes until the 4th, the 5th. Asif? 5th. It goes, and in the studio is our Spoon Keys. He loves the Durban studio. He loves just everything. He's watching out all your messages. So 06090411056.
Yes, you're listening to Nightline, and remember, as we mentioned, that Nightline is a program for the listeners. We know that those that are sitting at home wait. Also, sometimes feel that when we don't start during the time we're supposed to start, they feel that our program is going to be canceled. But nevertheless, we will not leave you. And remember, we will make up for the lost time as we go along.
Especially to Zach, you're a master. Zach and Asif, you guys are brilliant technicians, man. I think you're entitled for not only a hoodie now, a hoodie and a t-shirt together. Hey, how's that?
Promises. Even last year, Souk am I right, Zach? Vouch for me.
Now,
He promised you last week,
supposed to be my co-host.
Suki.
Did he give you a hoodie from last week?
No, he offered him, but we're still waiting. Yeah. We'll see maybe next year.
Why is we? Why are you
me? I'm including me
socializing
with you. I'm including me with you. Include me. Exclude me. I still
Okay,
give
you
you
are about the extra large and you about the extra large, right? We close. As soon as I get back, you guys must get hold of me. Okay. Let's got the messages are here and they're coming. 06090411056. Thank you to Asif and Zach here. And Spoon Kizzy there in the Durban studio. We're broadcasting to you live from the Durban Summer Souk. It is amazing to be here. And after we finish, I'll show you in a hunt for some food. Salam to Brother Muhammad Variawa and Doc Jeewa and whole of the Al Ansar team. When we're on this topic later, what do we make of? Okay, this has got to do with Palestine. We'll get to that now. I'll come back to this message. Oh, good evening, Manu Governor. How are you? It's great to hear you and that you're still wet. Salam show topics on point. These issues need to be highlighted. Thank you for all that doing such an excellent work. Stay blessed, Manu Governor. I'd love to have met you, Dr. Jeewa.
Don't promise a t-shirt. Unless you no, I'm hinting. It's called hinting. I'll remind you, inshallah. I'll remind you.
Do you want another t-shirt that you're trying to bump from me?
Yeah, well, you gave me something that's small and tight. Yeah. They don't have his size.
What he doesn't understand, he loves my hoodie so much. He wears it every Saturday.
That's how dedicated. Now, the question is, he'll give every one of us a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Or
Ask
a cap.
him why he can't you ever. Or why he doesn't have one.
No, I've got two.
No, you don't.
No, not if
Because he couldn't get his
the
size.
4XL doesn't fit.
He couldn't get his size. That's why he couldn't fit.
Frank out at the Durban Summer Souk, and we'd love to meet both of you guys and everyone else that listen to us every Saturday night. It allows us into the comfort of the home. 06090411056. 06090411056. I want to listen to Peter Marisburg. If you are streaming, www.alansar. We live at the Durban Summer Souk.
Have you noticed something, Brother Mohammed? In this under one roof, have you ever realized that how many Muslims we do have? I mean, this hall is packed.
But it's not only Muslims.
No, I
there's a lot
know,
of
but
non-Muslims as well.
majority are.
This event is an amazing event on the Durban tourism calendar.
Mhm.
We
And
expect to have over 200,000 people walk through these doors on the 13th day.
I think you've seen an average of about 10,000 a day.
How are you doing, Mr. Jinnah?
You know what I mean? So
Alhamdulillah.
anyway, let's go back.
Okay, before we go back to Palestine, I got quite a few messages. Tahira Lokat. Oh, nice surname. Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen. Some lavishly catered weddings are broken so quickly before the discarded for decor or perish. What a waste. Oh, look at the poetry. I have to read this again. This has got poetry. Do you appreciate
This time, do
poetry?
it tajweed.
Do you know what's poetry?
No, I don't know.
PhD in science. What nonsense you talking to me about? Let's do it again.
Poetry is not
Assalamu
science. Poetry is art.
Would you keep quiet?
Okay, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen. Some lavishly catered weddings are broken so quickly before the discarded flowers from the decor are perished. What a waste. Absolutely. You know, I've seen that happen, right? Take the flowers home and you can take the flowers home and you take the flowers home and you put it in your lounge table. Before those flowers wither, you get news that the wedding is broken. All the money spent. Can't we take it and send it to Gaza or Mozambique or Sudan or Congola or the Congo?
But what is the most important, I would say, gift individual can get during when getting married?
What is
the blessings? The blessings.
That's a beautiful. Let me tell you something. To all the people listening to us tonight, 06090411056, what would you think to be a unique wedding gift to a couple? Tell us, what do you think to be?
I would say that if you, as you mentioned, for those that can afford it, basically take the money and invest it for the couple.
By everything you meant.
Amen.
I asked you, what will be a unique gift?
Is to have a big lavish wedding.
Because
I can
Marisburg
afford
is
it.
alive. Marisburg is alive. Assalamu alaikum. Peter Marisburg is alive and listening. beautifully said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair. If you're anywhere else in this country and you're not yet at the Durban Summer Souk and you'd love to come, maybe give myself and Doc a call. We may make a plan for you. We make plans for everybody, so we'll make a plan for you as well. Let's go to comes home from Juma, right? From Juma prayers, he greets his wife and lifts her up. He then carries her around the house with a smile. The wife is so surprised, and she asks, "Did the Imam speak about being romantic today?" Husband must carry our burdens with a smile.
Okay.
Just imagine if I had to do that to my wife.
Oh,
Imagine if
heart
I
attack.
went. Listen to me.
Get a heart attack.
Zach, listen to me. Imagine if I went home. Okay, I walked to the door. I carried my wife all over the house.
Go into coma.
There's something
Because
wrong
I'd rather
with me.
stay in the stage.
Allah Mr. Jingle.
I want to be in the stage.
Allah Mr. Jingle.
You know, so I'd rather. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That was very nice, Hafiza. Great humor. Let's go to Jamila Sheikh. Salam. Good topic. Like to remain uninvited. Sorry to say, just today, someone in my family got married. We don't have a Porsche car and was not invited. That's so true. So you see, when these rich weddings happen, the cars must fit the surroundings of the wedding. Must be Mercedes Benz and BMWs and Hyundais like mine.
We park our cars far. Right?
Yeah. No, I don't park mine.
I park my
yours
car.
far?
Yeah.
So
Now you're opening up a
something.
new can of worms.
I've got an
I don't
opinion.
have cherry.
What's your
I
opinion,
haven't.
brother? Okay. Give us your
You rather
opinion.
park your car next to a super BMW. Who will know? They'll think that's your car.
With the BMW.
What, the BMW or the car you
BMW.
parked?
Yeah, the BMW.
So when you go into your car, you make like you're going to the
So you
BMW.
must, foil like little
But
bit.
you press the button and you jump into your
Yeah.
car. Nobody watches you.
Well, look, Lani, you're going to park next to a supercar.
But you know what BMW stand for?
Hmm?
What BMW stand for?
What is that? Translate that for us. Be my
And with
wife.
a big
Be
mouth.
my wife. Yeah.
Okay, have you been ever upset because you were not invited to a wedding? Be honest. Were you ever upset when a family member did not invite you?
With the pro, you know what I mean? So, and enjoy the peace.
Okay. Have you ever been in a situation where your wife was invited and not you?
Yeah. My
And-
wife was invited and not me. And
Why?
I still didn't get upset.
But why didn't they invite you?
Because possibly they looked at
Don't talk
me.
me about numbers. That's a new
No,
excuse.
no. They
now.
looked at me as a foreigner in the family.
How are you a foreigner in the family? What's wrong?
I mean,
I
they
mean, look-
invited your wife.
Yeah,
the
so
wife
why
is
invite you?
connected to her family, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
And-
interconnected to the
I'm
wife.
interconnected, so I'm like
Oh,
a
you
foreigner.
mean the wedding was on the family, on the wife's side?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if
You
you
got-
interconnected, then they can disconnect you.
Yeah. That's very, very
Yeah,
easy.
that
thing
really
to do.
happened.
So that's why they won't invite.
But then how the wife gets to the
But
wedding?
I also I got a way of sneaking through the back. I have the chow and then I run away.
You know, let me tell you a story, and this is
Mm.
true. This is true. My wife will kill me, but it's okay. I received a wedding card, right? And the wedding card said one person only. That's okay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you got one person only. I got no problem with that. Person's name.
Ah.
Oh.
So it deliberately left out a problem.
Look, it is a problem. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but you
looking
see,
at it-
what you didn't see, before the one, they had plus one.
No, I don't see no plus one.
They didn't have a plus one.
I know people say one person only. That's fine. Okay, you can decide which one to go. This one had one person and the person's name.
you have a nice, beautiful family with your children and, of course, your wife, and it's a beautiful family. You don't go without your kids anyway.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
they might just invite 2 people.
Exactly. And,
And I-
while they're quite aware of the fact that you got small children.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
and now you have to find a
and they're aware,
babysitter.
and they're aware that you have a lot of kids and your family is big.
yes, yes. So when they ask for 2 people, now rather
I thought you all the names in a hat and pick up rocks.
something like that.
Something like that.
I think you got it right.
That you should do in the old days.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
But you see, in the old days, it was nice because you had Kit Kat weddings.
That's what we're talking about. Kit
Right.
Kat weddings,
Lunch
right?
bar.
And
You can invite the whole dunya
the whole dunya.
because
Can
you're only going to give them a Kit Kat.
That's right. The dal and rice,
Mm.
which is also not so bad. I mean, look,
Yeah,
no
that's-
sophistication. You
that
have
goes
a
a long
long
way.
table.
That long wooden trestle table
Yeah,
with
with
that
that
white trestle
paper there.
paper, right?
So
Yeah.
when you finish, you just cut a piece of paper and wipe your hands.
Exactly. True.
That's
But
cool.
you remember when we were young, we used to gate crash weddings. Have you gate crash weddings?
No, Doc. I've
I'm
never
telling
ever
you,
gate.
I gate crash weddings in the old days when I was young for
Okay,
free chow. You know what I mean? Because you know why? It was like an open.
They
beach.
call it arm dawat.
I'm
Yeah.
dawat. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
You
I mean,
raise your arms and said, give them the
Yeah.
dawat.
you get your dawat.
I mean, you're not getting your 10 course meals and whatever it is. As you mentioned, what you describe, your dal and rice or your biryani, you know, with the trestle paper and things like that.
Get married. What you had?
Oh, me?
You lavish wedding.
No, not one. Not
No, no, no. I'm not talking about one wife. I'm talking about how many weddings you had.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your first one.
was very, might be about like 50 people in a restaurant.
Oh wow, very nice.
And the second one was after many years when I got the mosque in Claywood, you know, the famous mosque.
Yes.
where they
yes.
said the
what road,
Jamaat-
yeah, that South
Friday-
Coast Mosque.
Yeah, the South Coast, when
Mosque,
they
yeah.
used to have the Jamaat guys
Yes,
meeting,
yes,
we
yes,
had
yes.
it there.
Yes,
And
Alhamdulillah.
20 people we had supper for in the house. That's it.
And finish and done.
Finish and done.
That's a very, very good
Alhamdulillah.
way. AKU, when last? Can you recall when you got married, by the way?
Well, first of all, I went through my second marriage.
But you had a proper second marriage.
Yeah, I'm pretty proper,
Okay.
you know.
You know why?
I
He was scared. You
Wa-
don't
was
have,
it like
if you
the
don't have
first
to
or
be
not like
proper,
the-
you won't have the
The
third
first
one.
one, listen, the first one was in Johannesburg. And I want to tell you something. I even played my guitar there in my wedding.
What
Oh,
year
you
was
played
it?
it?
1960.
What year was it?
1960.
Must be
70.
60s.
Before that or after that?
It's obvious before that. I
So-
mean, look, I'm 77, right? Well, how old are
Okay,
you?
no, wait. I'm 62, so you're 15
you're
years
a
my
baby.
senior. Oh my God! When I wasn't thought about,
mean-
you must have got married.
No, so like I say, when I got married, you probably were not even here or not thought of.
Exactly what I said. I
Yeah.
was not around.
Yeah. So, my wedding was pretty exciting in a sense because we had that same arm dawat type of thing, dal and rice.
That long table
With the guys
with
will
the
ask
white
you, hey,
trestle
where's the
paper."
sinkers, bro?
Yeah, with a long table.
Yeah, with the long
With
table.
a white trestle paper.
Yes.
I love
Now
that,
that's
guys. I love
fun
that.
because you're looking for sinkers, and one will be shouting from that side, "Hey, bro, where's the sinkers?"
Mm.
Isn't that exciting?
So
He doesn't know what the
no,
sinker
no,
is.
I'm
Mr. Mehmet, what
asking
do
the
you
question.
Yeah.
I'm asking the question for the benefit of the listeners that are not here.
Oh, not for your
Yeah,
benefit.
not
Sure,
for
not for
my
your
benefit.
benefit.
Okay.
Okay,
Me,
now,
when you-
what about salams, guys? Very well. Nice topic. Thank you. Salams. You did not mention weddings where you give the gift list. That's also a problem now. All right. And if you don't buy one of the gift lists from a certain store, then you can't come into the wedding.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I
So
heard
they'll-
about that.
They'll give you a list.
They give you a list.
Right.
What
Muhammad
they need.
Variawa and family.
Mention Asha. Okay.
No, from Simplex. From
Why I
Simplex.
can't mention that?
Powers.
Why I can't mention
Okay, go ahead.
games?
Okay.
Okay?
Simplex Radio.
Or
was-
Simplex Radio.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
His father not him.
Uh-huh.
His father that was in Victoria Street. You remember?
He was a karate black belt
Yeah,
man.
yes, 100, the red one.
Wow.
His father. His father
So-
was a dinkum guy.
But what radio did you put in?
Oh my God. Don't you
Low
ask me.
punk.
Pioneer.
Sanyo. Attempt to sit now. Now
It
you
was
must
very,
remember
it was
those.
common
No,
those days.
no,
to
but
scale
those
like
days you
that.
had that bracket, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You could take and put in
You
your
can
boot.
pull out the radio and you
DC.
can take it upstairs. Don't put it in your
Yeah,
boot
yeah.
because they're breaking the card.
And that time they didn't have like all this fancy amplifiers, and the speakers used to like, like they used to be
And then we used to use cassette players. You know that?
cassette.
The one that you go in and you press
and
the
I
button
think
and it comes
jams
out.
and all that
And then you have to
sometimes.
pull out the cord of the jams.
Yeah.
Simtex Radio
Yes.
in Victoria Street was very well known. And his father was
To work.
absolutely
And
brilliant.
absolute gems.
Absolute gems.
And the boys are gems too, eh?
I don't know the
The
lights,
son-
but they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. Okay, let's go to Faiz. Salaam's brothers. Talk is not just about business, money, and material wealth. I'd rather go to a moderate wedding than have to sit and listen to talk of dunya. To talk of dunya. Moderate is for everyone. Alhamdulillah. Faiz Idris, Jazakallah khair.
I'd like to make salam to those peoples
You
outside.
can see the Mufti from Escort, right?
Oh, I see. Is that
She's
why
from-
the shape of
she's
the
from
people?
Johannesburg. So you can
She's
see
from
that.
Johannesburg.
You can see she's from Johannesburg.
Okay, yeah, she
Yeah,
looks like a gangster.
Their fans, they'll come ask me for my autograph, and they really worry me. They
It's
stalk.
very nice, so nice. I mean, look,
You
and
like
see-
all that attention.
And
He
you
likes
see,
all
you
that
see that young
attention.
lady at
How
the
I
back. You see the
woke
young
up
lady at
and
the
he's
back. That
moving.
one at the back.
I described to
She's
them.
from Scotland. Man. Is she in Scotland?
Scotland.
Yeah, she's from Scotland.
But you notice why they took notice of you?
Why? Because I'm bald,
Because
good
you're
looking, and I'm
standing
healthy.
out, bro,
Look at the colour
with your
of my
shirt.
shirt. Of course.
Your folks, I tell you, wherever anything else, but just to come and see Muhammad's
See my
shirt.
shoes.
Even the shoes. Wow, you're a very colorful man, huh?
A colorful personality.
That's
Kali. I love this man. Let me see if I can. Zach, can we play Scully directly or you have to? Let's see. That's what my friend Scully.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, Assalamu alaikum to Muhammad Bhai and
Walaikum
Johan
salam.
Bhai. Thank you to you two guys and whoever is busy in the studio. I think you mentioned Zach. Okay. And my big thank you for the year and looking forward for next year. I never miss the show Nightline. I never miss the show. And I'm looking forward to be next year to do the same. Thank you for being there with us.
Thank you,
all
Scully.
for the
Thank
year.
you.
God bless. God help us.
Khuda
So
Hafiz.
maybe it'll be a good start for Scully. Next week, Saturday, is the new year. We're going into the new year. And maybe he comes and visits us.
I think
and
I
be
have to
like-
meet Scully and Mona Govender and Frank
Frank.
and all the other wonderful listeners we have. You know, AK, for us on a Saturday night, you have a choice, right?
Mhm.
You got a choice to turn it on to 90.4 or 105.6. You have hundreds of other things that may be available to you on a Saturday night. But we have a group of listeners that listen to us every single Saturday night.
But that's so cool. I tell you why. Because sometimes we become very serious on the topics. Your topic is loose. Know what I mean? And people can identify with it. So I think
Exactly.
your topics are easygoing kind of topics. And that's what we want to hear when you're sitting in your motor car, you're sitting at home. You want to be entertained.
And if you sit in your motorcycle,
And then you get entertained on top of that with your shirt. You even more into.
ethnic
African
South
looking.
African shirt.
Hey, that's for sure, bro.
And look at the
That's
shoes
why
as
I'm
well.
asking people to come here.
Alhamdulillah, when will we receive your nightline tees and hoodies? You like that? Huh? Look, you love that, right?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Marriage is not a convenient
Seeing is believing.
institution, it's a sunnah. Something happened, yeah? What happened? Sorry, someone just hacked what I was saying. No, I don't know. Oh, there's a chair. Jazakallah. A marriage is not a convenient institution, it is a sunnah. Alhamdulillah, absolutely correct. Allah Hafiz, Ayyub Rahimais need to send me a message now, okay? With their size, and I'll get them a nightline t-shirt and a nightline hoodie.
Wow. Oh, so but you actually manufacture them, isn't it? And
I
you
manufacture
design
them
them.
myself. I design them, I
Folks,
manufacture them
this
myself.
man is a designer, and visually you can see he's a designer.
I think we can move on to the next segment on Palestine. Okay, let's play a nasheed, Zach, please. This man was bragging about the wonderful nasheeds he's got. He's going to compete with Salma Qazi Wahab.
Oh, when those bombs fell on Palestine streets, they bid like farewell, 'cause they were deceived. The whole world is watching whilst they all this, but God is near. فلسطين يا فلسطين بلاد العز والكرم. فلسطين يا فلسطين جروحك بكى الحجر. صرخات طفل بريء صواريخ السماء تنزل مثل المطر. يا فلسطيني امحي دموعي نصر قريب أقصى في الجنة أحياء Our souls cry freedom. Why do we need a reason to live in peace? Why do they shut the doors? Oh, can't you see? فلسطين يا فلسطين ستعودي أرض السلام. صرخات طفل بريء يسمعها رب البشر. من صواريخ السماء تنزل مثل المطر. يا نصر قريب يا فلسطين. شهداء الأقصى في الجنة أحياء. القدس ستبقى لفلسطين. Destroy our homes and they take our children away. Only God knows the pain that we feel behind the bombs and the tanks and the sound of the planes. Therein lies a Palestine that is free.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You tune to 90.4 if you're in Durban, 105.6 if you're in Harrisburg. Myself and Dr. Anwar Jeewa, and we got AK Jing and his grandson in the studio that's handling the board here. It's 904-105-6060, 904-105-6. I have a number of messages that I'm going to read. I'll start with 7592. Assalamu alaikum. Jolly good show. Listening from Uganda. Here we go.
Alhamdulillah.
Listening from Uganda. Well done. www.alansar.org.za. Thank you, my man. Sharing some humor. When a man opens it, oh, the car is
New.
You know,
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, look,
do you know when I just got married, I kept it locked.
Yeah. Kept it close.
Yeah, I kept it closed. Too.
array.
Because every time I open the door, she never said.
But
thank
look,
you.
the thing is this: first impressions. You got to make an impression if you want to get a good wife, and you want her, and you want her to say yes when you propose to her. So how do you go about it? You got to be at your best. After that, all the musties come out.
But after he got married for so many years, he was opening the back door.
Open the back door.
Because I had to come in through the back door. This listener from Uganda, thank you. Send us your name. I'd love to mention your name. It's great that you're listening to us from Uganda. It's a great idea. When you want to get married and you want to save lots of money instead of spending it on weddings, you can send your kids for Hajj. Absolutely.
But the only problem comes up 5 years later. By that time, you'll be having kids.
Okay, so we have got an anonymous. Assalamu alaikum. Please don't mention my name. I did not mention your name, but I know who you are. I just want to comment about the selection of the gift buying shop for baby showers and what to buy. It means don't come if you can't afford it. Please, may I have the gifts of shirt for my grandsons, inshallah, ta'ala, ameen. So you see now, this is an innovation, by the way, baby showers. If your wife is expecting a baby, wait for you to buy gifts, and they'll tell you where to buy the gifts from. Okay.
Oh,
And if you
that
can't,
complicated.
yeah. There's no. You can't go to Pep, brother. It's not going to work. Okay. So, for instance, if my
Because they
granddaughter,
open the gift.
So
in
you
front
can't
of
go to. So you can't go to a China shop and buy
you
something.
can't go to Chinese shops to buy something. You can't buy from Shane. It's not going to work. Okay. So it has to be what's the famous names? Give me some of the famous stores' names. And that kind of gift wrap, you see, because you open a gift now in front of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now imagine you see
I
some
mean-
of them from Pick and Pay, dude. Come on.
I mean, no, that's
Which is-
kind of
So
embarrassing.
it means that if I'm getting married and I want to furnish my apartment,
Yeah.
so I'll give them the list of all the things that are from my
Absolutely.
apartment and
You're
get
right.
furnished.
You're right. And we're talking about SMEC. We're not talking about cheap kettles and cheap toasters. They'll tell you, I want the SMEC. And SMEC's the most expensive brand at the moment.
Not Russell and Hobson.
No, Russell Hobbs is also good. Okay, I'm sure they'll accept Russell and Hobbs. When I got married, it was Kunchas, whatever your in-law family gave you, we just reciprocated the. Let's go. Assalamu alaikum. Awesome show as always. How can I get a hoodie and a t-shirt? Send me your name with your size and where you're from and how often you listen to me. And I'll decide which one.
And also a commitment that you're going to continue listening to us.
And a commitment that you're going to continue listening to us. I also want to know if you're listening to us outside Pietermaritzburg and maybe outside Durban and like our guy from Uganda, if you want www.alansar.org.za. And the listener from Uganda, I'd love to know your name, please.
Coming back to Palestine, Brother Mohammed, again, it's important for us not to forget. And as we're speaking, the last few days has been horrendous.
Absolutely horrendous.
I mean, they've come to the extent where the last existing functional, and not fully functional, slightly functional hospital, they bombed it. You know what I mean? But look at the innovation and look at the ideas. Here is an Afrikaner lady that has posted on TikTok. And I mean, this is phenomenal.
I hope
think
this is the one that I was wanting you
Correct.
to do.
Correct.
Excellent.
the one we want to get her on air, actually.
Yeah.
We want to
that's the
invite
one.
on air.
Yeah, that's the
Now, I
one.
want you guys to listen to this because we keep on talking about Palestine. Here is an Afrikaner woman, right? Palestine.
True.
She
100%.
made out this appeal, and I want
Yes.
to, Brother Mohammed, on behalf of Nightline, take this appeal to a next level for her.
Absolutely.
Let's listen to this.
You could call it an emergency. As some of you know, I initiated a program of bringing people from Gaza to seek asylum or to get a work permit, depending on their qualifications and background. I will not name the organization that got involved on the sponsoring side, but I'm finding it very difficult working like this because there are hundreds of families sitting in Cairo where they cannot stay in Cairo. But I myself do not have the money to look after them. I have a farm, I have a house. They are welcome to stay in the house, but I need to pay for electricity and stuff like that. And I just don't have it. Okay, local Muslim communities here will provide food, etc. There is some support. I need money for this project. We have 3 of us registered an NPO. It is above board. Everything is in place. We need money from people who think like us to sponsor these people, their food, their electricity, their children's school fees, until we can get them jobs or until we can get them asylum. Please, please forward this, spread the news, talk to your communities, talk to your mosques, talk to your churches. Come back to me soon, please. If everybody gives 50 Rand a month, we can look after 5 families. You know, we'd have enough money to look after a lot of people. Please, this is a plea. I didn't plan on making this video, but I'm being let down by partners, and find it in your heart to help these people to come to South Africa. You can get involved on all kinds of levels. Please get back to me. Thanks.
Brother Mohammed, phenomenal.
I think they're taking out the initiative. Now, let me tell you what she's telling you about Cairo. When I went into Gaza and I came back out of Cairo, there's people sitting in Cairo that are doctors, surgeons, engineers, gynecologists of the highest nature, highly qualified. There's nothing they can do. They're sitting at home and have got no work that's going to happen in Cairo. So what she's saying is 100% correct. Now, as South Africans, we sit in front of our TV, our heart burns, we cry, but that's all we can do. This is an opportunity. She's talking about 50 Rand. Come, you find 1,000 people that give us 50 Rand. That's 50,000 people. And I don't know who she is. I've sent her a message to her. If anybody listening knows her, we need to find out what's the name of the organization. We need to find a contact number for her. And you and I, on this program, will raise the funds that she requires. In fact, after the Souk, I'll ask the Al Ansar Foundation to donate some of that money towards this project. You know, they don't have to do this. They're not Muslim. But as we've always said, the Palestinian issue was never a Muslim issue.
It's not a Muslim issue.
It's a humanitarian issue.
That's right.
And it's the largest Afrikaner, wherever she is, and whatever farm she is, needs to be helped. And as South Africans, we must make the effort to help it. 50 Rand, 100 Rand. We're not talking about 5,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand. We talk about minimum. And the minimum we can do, if you have any feeling for your Palestinian brothers and sisters that's been slaughtered right now, that's been ethnically cleansed, this is the project that you must get involved in.
You actually went there.
Yes, I was.
And
I
what
went
was
there.
your experience?
My experience was phenomenal. The resilience, people I've met lost their entire family. Mothers are sitting without no kids, disabled fathers, and they sit on the border. Okay, they didn't allow us to go beyond the border, unfortunately. So you had to be talking to them from the border. And what has happened to Palestinians is a horrendous chapter in the history of humanity in the world.
Absolutely.
But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it a tear I've heard someone early on, I can't remember the person's name, talk about the Palestinians. Don't feel bad for them because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got a special place for them. You and I won't understand this because there's people that's got no feel what's happening. What has, especially non-Muslims, ask you, what is your Allah doing? How does He allow something like this to happen? But it's beyond them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has carved for
What
them.
I find is that this horrific thing got started, but it seems like them. I mean, look, they say 9th of October,
7th of
but this
October.
has been going on for years.
It's decades.
Right,
This abuse is decades.
So they make it sound like it's new, and they use it as an opportunity to go and attack because they are after the land. There's no doubt about it. So they,
You know what really inspires me? Here is a lady, white, asking, and she's making an humble appeal. And she did say that, you know what, the local Muslims in my area have helped, but I've been let down. I mean, I can't seem to understand and fathom that we have
Muslim organization.
that been let, she's been let down. Now, how many of us as Muslims, let's be frank, let's be honest, how many of us as Muslims that are willing to open our doors now as we stand, who have wanted to open our doors? How many of us have got properties and have got farms? Right.
there's another thing that I have the masjid for, and to expect to listen to an inspiring talk. So far, actually, I hardly heard them
About
discuss about Palestine.
True.
Where is our heart? And I tell you something, when we look at the Middle Eastern countries, you wonder how they're accountable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How is that? And a plan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always talks about, you know, you plan and He plans, and He's the best of planners.
Just to, okay, you want to read some messages?
Yeah, let me just go to RMS. I listen to your show every Saturday night, even whilst in Dubai. Alhamdulillah, I am actually going to forget. I have to make a note. Aisha, Palestine. Salam's good show as always, brothers. I think a small, sweet wedding has lots of barakat, and the best gift to give married couples is Quran and Musalla. I agree with that actually. I'm a regular listener, would like a hoodie, not woody, hoodie, a large Jazakallah khair.
We can give a woody too.
I need to get a Spoo. I don't know whether can Spoo hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Where's Zach?
Definitely. Yeah, I can
Zach,
hear you. Yeah,
can you hear me,
Yeah,
right?
I can hear you.
I need you to make a note of all the sizes, please, Spoo, because I'm got quite a few messages and I can't do the sizing and the messages.
And Smooth got a hoodie. So if you don't take the messages down, we'll take his hoodie back.
I'm in Reservoir Hills. Grandsons are 10 to 11 years. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. I think she's talking about hoodie or t-shirt. What's she talking about? And Rolf tells me he's a triple S shirt. So he has to be very small.
Triple S.
Yeah. He has to be
Dynamite
very, very
come in
small.
small packages. Give good, very good input.
All right. If you just joined us, we are live here with Brother AK Jingles, who's joined us, and Dr. Anwar Jeewa, and the thousands of people here that's walking around the Souk. I think you can find anything from a needle to a haystack here at this wonderful organization. I think it's the largest event in KZN calendar.
I would think so.
Yeah, that happens during this time.
Can I ask you something? You remember when we started off Radio Al Ansar, and you had a very special introduction?
Jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is it you do the introduction, I do the...
No.
I want you to remember it.
Okay, give me a time. I got a message from Yusuf, okay, and I agree with what he's saying. And I'm a bit reluctant to read it because It's difficult. I agree with what you're saying, but you must remember this is a business entrepreneurs that people demand. I think before we start picking on the Souk, we must conscientize our people to stop buying that particular product.
Yeah,
Now,
the choice is
I
there.
tell you something that I don't buy it, but I cannot force my moral fiber onto something else.
Absolutely.
You may have decided not to go to this camp because that's your choice. Dr. Jeewa may decide not to buy. What's one of the other things that's boycotted?
Woolworths.
Uh,
Woolworths.
no, Woolworths. Okay. Now, I may still choose to go to Woolworths because I don't believe Woolworths have that kind of thing. So before we want to discuss this at length, I think we need to conscientize our people, and I think they've got the right to do what they want. We don't know that they may be drinking B and decided to boycott F,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
And this is a business.
I have to tell you that
But I agree with you,
they've got it.
Yusuf, 100%. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
They've got it wrapped up. Designers have got it wrapped up. They planned this many years ago as to how they're going to carry on taking over certain businesses. Because I remember my nephew had a cold drink factory, and Coke actually bought them off to take them off.
Do we still get Creras? Or
Yeah,
have
yeah.
they closed?
I've
We still
seen
get
it.
Creras?
I've seen it. Looks like it's come back now.
Good.
Okay,
All right.
coming back to Gaza.
Yeah.
I just want to play a short clip, Brother Mohammed, and this want to bring to the listeners' attention. One of the northern Gaza's last function hospital has been strikes targeting the area around the healthcare facility. And the head of the nursing department told BBC that about 7 a.m. on Friday, the military gave administration 15 minutes to evacuate patients and staff into the courtyard. And then Israeli troops subsequently entered the hospital and were removing the remaining patients. The Israeli military said on Friday afternoon that it was carrying out an operation in the area of the hospital, which is called an Hamas terrorist stronghold. Let's listen to this.
The World Health Organization says the last major functioning hospital in northern Gaza has been put out of service after it was evacuated by the Israeli military. The Kamal Adwan hospital had been under siege by the IDF for weeks. Staff say airstrikes there on Friday killed 50 people. The head of the hospital's nursing department told the BBC the army gave them only a 15-minute warning to evacuate patients and staff before the Israeli military then entered the hospital to remove anyone that remained. Israel says the hospital was being used by Hamas as a command center, but has not provided any evidence to support this. Let's speak to our correspondent in Jerusalem, Amir Nader, who joins us now. Amir, good morning. So what is the health picture now for the people in northern Gaza?
Well, much worse after this hospital has now been put out of service. We have just heard from the Deputy Minister of Health there in Gaza this morning, who told us that the staff after the hospital was forcibly evacuated yesterday, around 100 of the staff were taken to a place to be interrogated. Some of them have been released and said it was a hard, including the director of the hospital, Dr. Some of the staff have had chance to go to
medicine. As we speak now, we understand that the Ministry of Health in Gaza and the WHO are trying to negotiate with the Israeli military courtyards. Palestinian healthcare workers have been killed and injured, and now as your reporter mentions, more than 100 people, including the director of the hospital, Dr. Sophia, have been forcibly detained. Genocide and ethnic cleansing. Now, the strategy of deliberately targeting healthcare facilities, healthcare workers, and health. Last estimates provided by the UN suggested that there were about 75.
Broadcasting to you live from the Durban Summer Souk tonight on Saturday night here. We've got Spoon Kizzy in our studios at Durban, who'll transfer the messages to us on 060-904-1056. 06 on the world. Let us know, www.alansar.org.za. We'd love to hear from you. We've got someone from Uganda, so we need to know where else people are tuning in and streaming in to educate you and unite you.
Coming back to Gaza, a very inspirational clip I want to play. And this is where NBC News 21, before the Israel-Hamas war broke out in October 7, 2023. Since then, Nadine has been inseparable from her younger brother Jude, who she almost lost to disease after they lost their older brother in their home. And he has a closer look at how Nadine and Jude continue to navigate childhood during the wartime. Let's listen to this.
The Latif and her is referred to by many as an open-air prison. And since Hamas took over the area 18 years ago, it has seen conflict after conflict.
I'm 13 years old, and I've lived many wars. I mean, to the
and Jude in Gaza City back in 2021. After 11 days of Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas.
How does it make you feel to see all of this just around the corner from your house?
I'm scared. But I'm hiding this from my little brother. I don't want him to know that I'm always scared.
Nadine, who learned English watching TV, told me she wanted to be a doctor when she grew up. Jude said he was going to be a builder to fix all the destroyed buildings. But Gaza was never rebuilt, and this current war has turned it into a wasteland.
Any child's home should look like?
Israel ordered the family, like everyone else, to move south. But there wasn't enough room on the bus, so Nadine's older brother Ahmed stayed behind. Soon after, he was killed by an Israeli airstrike.
Well, we have to be strong, right? Yeah. Don't cry, okay? Don't cry. You're gonna make me cry. No crying. No crying.
Yes, my best brother.
Death nearly came calling again in July when Jude came down with hepatitis.
It was absolutely the hardest part of my life, and I was definitely afraid of losing him.
It's one of many diseases spreading because of poor sanitation, polluted water, and overcrowding, because Israel has crammed nearly all of the 2.2 million Gazans into a few so-called humanitarian zones. This war has been especially hard on children, who make up around half the population. More than many more injured and limbless, and almost all of them are homeless. Nadine, Jude, and their parents have been displaced 5 times and now live in central Gaza. No school. Instead, eat
security, but there's no water.
Nadine says Jude's mental health is getting worse. He wants to ride his scooter and play with his friends. But children in Gaza can't have the fighting.
I want to see my brother again.
We can see him, just we have to wait.
When?
Be patient.
When we can see him.
You gotta be.
NBC News, Jerusalem.
Thanks for
This is very, 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 very painful. You know, every time the children that suffer and how they have to grow up overnight and they look after their brothers and sisters that's far younger than they are, and they are about 13 and 12 anyway. And the resilience that they have is unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's definitely got to be a...
That's our only hope. Paradise. But I want to tell you something. While the Israelis attacking these people, what they don't understand to fight them back.
No, absolutely.
Because nobody is going to forget as to how the parents were killed, how their homes were bombed. I mean, that kind of loss. I mean, we ourselves right here. I mean, we on where the government took our homes away, but it's nothing like that. They took our homes away, and we had to make a plan and go and build another Zach. Now we were actually, I mean, right up to today, we speak about it, that what beautiful homes we had, and the people around us were like family. Now that destruction took.
Okay, let's go to some of the messages we have. Zach, can I go live with Scotty, right? Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry, let me just get it right. Oh, can I go live now?
You
To the Nightline team, I'm interested in where we make the donation of the amount you mentioned.
Scotty,
I'm
yeah.
a pensioner.
Yeah.
Scully.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us the information or what's up.